Yes, it is possible to tattoo the inside of your lip, like when you pull down your lip and there's your tattoo, as well as outer lips, permanent lip blush, tattooed lip liner. Let's talk. Hi, my name is Whitney and I'm a registered dental hygienist here to talk about lip tattoos. Now, like I just mentioned, there are two main types. Inner lip tattoos, which are usually small words or symbols inked into the inside of the lower lip. These are often done by traditional tattoo artists in a tattoo studio because it's literally ink into tissue, just like a normal tattoo in a weird different spot. Some tattoo artists actually won't do these at all because of the biological challenges inside the mouth. And then there's permanent makeup, which is usually lip blush or lip liner tattooed into or around the lips to enhance color and shape. These are usually done by permanent makeup or cosmetic tattoo artists in med spas or even salons using specialized pigments and techniques for a makeup-like effect. It's like permanent lipstick. And now for these, while they're marketed as trendy, low maintenance, and just cosmetic, it's important to remember that your mouth, really both the inside and the outside, it's not like your arm or ankle or back. Getting a tattoo in or on your mouth or your lips is very different than getting a tattoo on your normal skin. This is because your mouth is one of the most bacteria-filled environments in your entire body. Your mouth contains hundreds of bacterial species, and a fresh tattoo inside the lip is essentially an open wound constantly being bathed in saliva and microbes. Your arm, not even close to that bacterial density. Also, your skin doesn't deal with things that you eat, like vinegar, citrus, coffee, and the forces of chewing all day. Your lip tissue is oral mucosa, not keratinized skin, so it heals differently. It turns over rapidly. The ink doesn't hold as predictably, especially for the inner lip. And of course, your lips are thinner and more delicate. That's why those inner lip tattoos fade faster. And also why irritation risk can be higher. And more than irritation, infection is one of the biggest risks. Because again, saliva and bacteria are constantly interacting with this fresh open wound. Overall, there is a higher risk of swelling, irritation, delayed healing, and a higher infection risk in general compared to regular skin tattoos. Okay, so that was short term. Now let's talk long term. Potential long-term side effects often have to do with the ink. Research has found that many tattoo inks contain specific dyes that can break down into potentially carcinogenic substances when exposed to bacteria. And again, maybe not a problem at all for your skin, but remember, there's lots more bacteria up in the mouth. Additionally, in the US, tattoo inks are only minimally regulated, meaning manufacturers are not required to disclose every ingredient. What that means is, although tattoo inks can be regulated as cosmetics and pigments, manufacturers are not required to disclose all the ingredients publicly. There is no routine pre-market approval for tattoo inks, and most oversight happens only after problems are reported. Of course, this ingredient transparency issue applies to regular skin tattoos as well, not just lip tattoos. However, the issue with the lip tattoos is, again, that there is more of a concern with these potentially harmful dyes interacting with all the bacteria in your mouth. Some also contain something called cinnabar, which can also irritate oral issues. Next, let's talk about the sterile technique. And I hope I'm not sounding like, ew, don't do this, because I truly think they are an awesome option for permanent makeup specifically. But the reason I'm making this video is because I think it's important to know all the facts before you consider getting them done. Okay, so the sterile technique. Where lip tattoos are being done is definitely something to consider. Are you going to a licensed tattoo artist or a med spa or a beauty studio? In many places, cosmetic tattooing, even in a spa, still technically falls under tattoo regulations, meaning the artist and location may need to meet local health department requirements for tattooing. In some states, even estheticians must be registered as tattoo artists to perform any type of micropigmentation procedures. Because if needles or ink are contaminated, there's a risk of bloodborne infections like Hep B or C. That risk depends entirely on the practices of the artist and the studio. So always check where you're going. Make sure the place is clean and your artist is licensed. Regarding the inner lip tattoos, just remember that they often fade quickly. Sometimes they fade within months because the oral mucosa regenerates rapidly. So just keep in mind that you're accepting all these risks for something that may not even last. I have seen a handful of these before in my practice as a dental hygienist with my patients. I've seen some interesting four-letter words in that inner lip. But honestly, it always makes me smile. But once actually, I saw someone who said love, L-O-V-E. That was a nice 4-letter word. Anyway, I like the idea of these things, but I don't like how casually this stuff is being promoted online without discussing the oral health implications. So before we go, if you're considering any type of lip tattoo, whether it's inner lip or outer lip, don't forget these 5 tips. Number 1, choose a state licensed artist. Be sure to carefully select a reputable technician. 2, ask detailed questions about sterilization. 3, avoid acidic foods during healing and follow all the post-procedural guidelines they give you. 4, always be honest about your medical history before going in for this procedure. Specifically, if you're prone to cold sores, if you have blood clotting disorders, prone to scarring, things like that. And 5, make sure your oral health is stable before getting it done. Get a professional cleaning at your dental office. Let us know that you are thinking to get a lip tattoo so we can monitor it. And if you already have a permanent lip tattoo, again, be honest with your dental hygienist and dentist so we can put it into your chart to know it's something you have and we can continuously keep an eye on it. Obviously, we will visually notice if you have an inner lip tattoo with words or symbols because we will see it, but we won't always catch the outer lipstick permanent makeup tattoos because sometimes they seem so real, like it's real lipstick. Anyway, in conclusion, is getting a tattoo on the mouth worse than on regular skin? Short answer, yes. The oral environment adds extra risk layers due to bacterial load, tissue type, and constant movement. Lip tattoos have ingredient transparency concerns, infection risks if sterilization technique is poor, plus higher bacterial exposure and more irritation risk and more unpredictable healing. Again, that doesn't mean everyone who gets a lip tattoo is doomed. Plenty of people have them without any issues, but from a biological standpoint, the mouth is a much more complex and sensitive environment than the skin. So just be careful and really read into the place and the person who is tattooing you before you schedule that appointment. And I hope this video helped you. Please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications if it did. And if you want even more teeth talk, you can visit my website, teethtalkgirl.com, and hang out with me on Instagram at teethtalkgirl. Peace, love, and teeth.